Because right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here, 7 nights a week on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani, joined tonight by Andrew Fillipponi of 93.7 The Fan. And you can join us, too, by calling the Bordas & Bordas hotline, which is 412-575-2600, or tweet us at KDPomp at The Pony Express. And I guess breaking news tonight, Andrew, is that Joel Quenneville has resigned as head coach of the Florida Panthers, a Panther team that was 7-0-0. But because of all the investigation and all the stuff that's happened in Chicago, that investigation dating back to 2010, or Kyle Beach, who is known as the John Doe, sexually assaulted and pretty much covered up by those in charge of Chicago's organization. And now the fallout begins. Quenneville met with Gary Bettman tonight, and I imagine the GM of the Winnipeg Jets is probably headed for a similar fate. Your thoughts on all of this as it's unfolding here tonight?
Well, I think, the moral of the story, the lesson here is that when, somebody presents you with a firsthand account of sexual abuse, you respond to it. You don't brush it under the rug, whether that's youth sports, collegiate sports, professional sports. I don't think you just gloss over it or move on. And so, we're learning more and more about this. There's a huge investigation in Chicago. Quenneville's not even working for the Blackhawks anymore, as you pointed out. He's got Florida in a position right now where, or he had them in a position where they're very much one of the teams that is considered as a Stanley Cup contender. I believe, Bob, did you pick them to win the Cup, or
I did.
You liked them a lot?
I picked them to win the Cup. Yeah.
Right. They have a very good team. Quenneville's won 3 Stanley Cups. He's one of the winningest coaches in NHL history, and you just hate when things like this happen. You've had these legendary figures in sports that get embroiled in controversy and scandal, and, it changes their legacy and their reputation and all that. So, first of all, you feel very bad for Kyle Beach and everything he's had to go through in the last decade. And then you wonder just how far this is going to go. How many people knew about it, how many people ignored it, and how many people are going to have their reputations permanently scarred by the way they reacted to what happened in Chicago a number of years ago.
The 2 leftover guys from that team, Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves, 2 of their best players. And yet we haven't heard, well, we did hear something from them, and it makes you wonder how much they knew, how much they didn't know, whatever the case. This investigation will go on, and it should. If you listen to Kyle Beach last night, he did an interview on TSN. It was heartbreaking, actually. I mean, I listened, and I couldn't believe what I was listening to. And the fact that he's had to deal with this for 10 years before anyone took it seriously, actually 11 years, is ridiculous, quite frankly, Andrew. It should have been dealt with at the time. It wasn't. They pretty much prioritized winning over sexual abuse, and you can never do that.
Yeah. Right, and, what it does is that you have this period of time, which is supposed to be, the greatest run in Chicago Blackhawks history, or very close to that. This is a salary cap era where parity is supposed to reign supreme, where every team, the NHL wants it, where all 32 teams now have an equal chance of winning the Cup. And, they're right there with the Penguins. The Penguins have 09, and then the back-to-back Cups in 16 and 17. And then you've got the Blackhawks with 3-2. Mm-hmm. And so, it's so hard for now, I think a Blackhawks fan, you've got the banners hanging and you've got their names on the Stanley Cup and everything, but, when you think about those great moments, are you going to be able to separate those from what happened, to this poor young man? Yeah. So, that's kind of the dilemma now that Blackhawks fans and the Blackhawks organization is going to have to deal with for a very long time.
Very much so. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There'll be more fallout, and we'll see as it goes. Meanwhile, the Penguins were on action tonight against Calgary, and it's a Calgary team that has some good players. I didn't think the Penguins were going to be able to not score tonight, however. Jacob Markstrom is a big goaltender. We've seen him before, 6'6". 45 shots on goals for the Penguins, and they got nothing. They had an opportunity in the first period with a big 5-on-3